Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. Before I get into this flea market stories, I gotta tell you something. I hate when I leave something out of a commentary, but I was rushed on the last one, the WWE one about WrestleMania. One thing I noticed in the crowd was there was a lot of printed out hashtag We Want Cody signs. And even on commentary, they were mentioning the We Want Cody movement. So right there, you should have known that it was a work. What ended up being a work, I think The Rock's turning heel. There's no way an announcer would bring that up if that was against WWE's actual plans. You know, that would be like the announcement team bringing up all the chants for Daniel Bryan back 10 years ago. But just quickly want to bring up that I left that out. And turns out it was a work. So brilliant on you, WWE. Brilliant on them. They had a plan all along. So I could go into a lot of things about this Saturday at the flea market. Definitely a big change here, because now I have two spots. People remember certain moments in their life. You remember moving into your first apartment, your first car you buy, your first house, and you remember the first time you expand your flea market spot. One 12 by 12 spot is now two 12 by 12 spots. 24 feet wide, 24 feet deep. I got some room to play around now. I do. The sad thing is, it wasn't really that great of a sales day. It was a waste. I kept going, it's such a waste of a sales day. It was gorgeous weather. Exactly the same degrees as the dollars I made, like $68. I'm not going to say it wasn't some good sales. There were. I just don't know what it is. I mean, watch tomorrow. It's supposed to be rainy tomorrow. Watch me do double or triple tomorrow. But a lot of my regulars weren't there. So maybe that's what it is. One regular came by. There's all these side flea market stories I might go into. Strap on and strap in and strap on. There's going to be a ton of flea market stories. There are, especially with spring on the way. Things are ramping up, right? But I want to talk briefly about adjusting to two spots from one. On the positive, you have a lot more room to move around. Just little things like unpacking and repacking up. You don't have to worry about other cars being parked beside of you. You don't have to worry about opening up one door and worrying that the other person opens the door on one side is going to scrape your door. No worries about that, because I can park wherever in the middle. I went with a halfway kind of slanted because the Impala is still a big car, so I couldn't get it right perfect. Maybe if I tried, I could have, but it looked silly. It did. It looked like a cross out between the two spots. And I kept looking at it like, man, it's so silly. But what I was trying to do is I was trying to keep people from parking in the other spot. And I don't know if there's any way that I can stop that, because maybe I could, go long ways. But then the problem there is between the front and the back of the car, it's a very long car. The strong suit is not making circles. So then I guess I'm going to choose between the one spot and the other spot. And the reason I'm probably going to go with my other spot, which is to the left, I extended and I bought the spot to the right. The reason I'm probably going with the spot to the left is because I kind of want to buffer out and keep friends of maybe anyone new coming to the flea market from parking in that empty spot. Whereas to the right, I know that person, they only have one truck. But that's one big change, is just having more room to move around. Your customers having more room to move around. I set an arcade up to the left, and I set my sales table to the right. And in the line between the two spots, I lined up the tables perfectly, exactly in alignment. Although one leg is a little bit smaller, I think, than the other table, but it's not that bad. I lined them up perfect. And then I put two tables to the front, but slanted to the right. I don't even know if I'm going to need two tables. I don't know if I'm going to need two tables. And I might just wrap up this whole thing right now. I don't know if I'm going to have like multiple installments of this Saturday. Maybe two. Maybe I can wrap this up in two. Because there's some stuff that happened, or some things I want to talk about that are people related. This is more like I want to focus on what I'm focusing on earlier today and tomorrow, which is what to do with this new space now. You've probably seen maybe some walk-arounds I've had in previous flea market stories. I basically had the one main wooden table up there to the front. I had two plastic fold-out tables. One was in front of the wood table, and I had on my media trays. And then at the back left, I had one table for the arcade. And now I have a whole lot more room. So I basically turned one left table into the entire arcade. I had 1, 2, 3 flat screens running up front and one small one in the corner. And what did I have running? Well, no, I had 4 flat screens. Yeah, 4. But on the last one, I'll get into in a moment, which was my big plan. Hell, I don't know if I'm going to title this, but maybe I'll title it "My Big Plan to Sell 360 Games." But I had a slim 360 on one to the front right. Then I had a white 360. Then I had like a little mini Nest system. Then on the corner left, I had, I think it was the same 360 that went flying off the table that I don't care much about for the one girl that comes by and she plays games and stuff. I had that one set up. It's kind of like more like the test one, the one that's not selling. And to make sure no one's interested in buying it, I made sure to leave the little off the disc tray, to leave the front plastic piece off, and to leave leave some dirt on it. You know, I might spin on it too, just to make sure nobody wants to buy it. But that's the test system, right? That's the test unit for a couple different regulars that come there. Now, it's hard to adjust. Even though it's easier and have more room to spread everything out, when you're planning, it's hard to adjust because you don't know where you want to put every single thing. It's a whole new experience from what you're used to, having 2 spots as opposed to 1. And you feel like, okay, I want to take up as much room as possible. You know, you want to stretch your arms out. You know, you feeling like, yeah, I got 2 spots now. You want to take up as much room as you can. But it turned out kind of bite me in the butt, ironically, because in front of the wooden tables, I had 2 long black tables, one that of course I had behind for the arcade. I linked them together and I had them offset to the right. And I honestly didn't have enough room to really put a lot of stuff on that table to the right. I didn't really think it through. And, you know, I can't have those tables going into the arcade section with the stools where people sit on. So one was just kind of hanging off the edge. And it was close to where the other vendor was to the right. And ironically, when they had customers, I couldn't really move around it. And it was already set and I couldn't really move it because I had all the games set on it and whatnot. So I don't even know if I'm going to need the second table, which is positive because I could just add that table to my game testing room. So that's one big positive of having the 2 spaces. Not only do you get the 2 spaces, but you get access to the 2 wooden tables. I kept going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to separate the tables or keep them together. The bad part is with long tables, you got to walk around. So it's a little more walking to get to, you know, wherever you want to go. But very important, I want people to know and understand it is 2 spots. And the easiest way for people to know it's 2 spots is even when you bring all your stuff out to make sure both spots are linked up. Back to the parking spaces. I was thinking of various ways I could keep people from parking in that spot to the right. Because I don't want anyone parking over there. Maybe that I don't even, if it's somebody that I know, that's different. But I just don't want anyone parking over there, even to go shop. I don't want anyone parking there. I just don't. I'm territorial. I don't want anybody parking in my spot, my space. It's still part of my spot. I mean, I might bring up if somebody parks there. I'm like, well, hey, you're going to be there long? I could say, this is for vendors. They don't like people parking there. Then I could say like, well, me, I don't mind if you park there. But I'm just saying like, this is reserved for vendors, like, you know, and if I might need this area for something, which I don't right now, you know, I might just say like, get the fuck out of my spot, you son of a bitch. I'll stand there like, whoa, 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 whoa. Depending on the day, I might be in a bad mood. If sales are shitty tomorrow, I might be in a bad mood. I might go like, whoa, 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 whoa. Do I know you? Do I know you? You know where you are? You're in my spot. This is my media store right here, motherfucker. For the next couple hours, this is my media store. I own this. I pay for this. Yeah, you know, I'm within my rights. You know, I might say like, hey, you know, I pay for that spot. You know, I pay for that spot. I mean, check out the office. I can hold up my receipt too. I'm like, hey, you know, this is my spot. I paid for it, right? This is parking's over there. And then they say like, hey, it's not a big deal. I'm like, hey, you know, I've been told to tell people. Office tells me to tell people these are vendor spots. These are not for customers. To park in that spot. Yeah, in the middle of talking to you all, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, letting people park in that spot that are not buying things from me. Now, if they're one of my big time customers, hey, you know what? I don't know nothing about the office not liking people in that spot. I mean, I'll just say you're with me. Shit.